Hello everyone, I'm Bad Pan, the bad who has a slow internet. This video is actually part 2 on how to create the Fears to Fathom hiding system in Unity. In this part, we're gonna create the mechanics of it. This video was actually suggested by our dear friend with this ID. Hope all the very best for you wherever you are. This video will be put inside a series of videos covering Unity tips and tricks, and also in another series of videos covering mechanics from the game Fears to Fathom in Unity. I published my own retro-psychological horror game. It's called Fractured Psyche and it's available both on Windows and Android. If you're into this stuff, I'll be happy if you could check it out and share your thoughts. The link's in the description. All the files used and created in this video are available in my GitHub. You can get to it again with the link in the description. With all that being said, let's put on the mask and begin. So we have left off here from the previous part. The first part we created this closet with the transparent materials. In this video we're gonna interact with it, and when we interact with it we're gonna go inside it. How do we go from here inside here? It is actually a simple thing to do. For this, we need a Cinemachine virtual camera. Cinemachine is actually a package that is inside Unity. I'm using Unity 6.3. I think it is actually inside older versions as well, but I'm gonna do it inside Unity 6.3. You're gonna go to Unity registry. When you're inside the package manager, you're gonna go to Unity registry and search for Cinemachine. When you find it, you're just gonna click on install if it is not already installed on your project. I have it in here. So what do we wanna do? We want to add the Cinemachine to our character, our FPS controller, which is here, because I want to transition from going from here into here using Cinemachine, and because of that we need Cinemachine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my camera. First we have to give it a Cinemachine brain, so the Cinemachine knows that this camera is actually our brain camera, the main camera. So we're just going to add a component for Cinemachine brain. So we tell it to use this camera. Then we need to give it a virtual camera, but we need to give it a virtual camera, a secondary camera. It is not a camera, it is just an empty object. I'm gonna call it VCam, which is actually just a virtual camera. It's just telling the Cinemachine brain to use this object as our camera instead of this main camera. Why am I doing this? Because I want to add more VCams to more places. For example, a child of this one. Then I tell the brain, for example, this thing is our, virtual camera. Then the camera goes from here to here, and this becomes the camera. The reason I'm using it is because I want to have more access to my camera. The components I'm going to add here are, I want to use my Cinemachine as my, movement, anything I want in the game. So I'm going to go to my FPS controller from the first person standard assets. I'm going to open up mouse look, and I'm going to put the X and Y sensitivity to 0, so the FPS controller script doesn't actually move our camera, and the virtual camera actually moves it. So I'm gonna again go to my camera, this first person character. I'm gonna add the impulse listener. I'm going to be using the things that I'm using currently in my upcoming game to set up this virtual camera, and I'll explain it to you guys. So we have to give it the Cinemachine camera. As you see, it changed the camera. Now this is my camera. It is Cinemachine brain now. I added the Cinemachine camera. Now you cannot change any camera settings. In the camera settings, you have to go to your VCam and change the settings. I'm going to check on this priority. I'm going to give it a priority of 1. We need to add some more stuff for the rotation and stuff. I want to add a Cinemachine input axis controller, pan tilt, Cinemachine pan tilt, and multi-channel per lane. These are the settings that I've used for my game. First we go to the main camera, we give it the Cinemachine brain and the Cinemachine impulse listener. Then we go to the child that we made, put it at the exact spot as the camera, and we gave it the Cinemachine camera, which is actually the virtual camera. It was called Cinemachine virtual camera in the previous versions. Then we give it the Cinemachine pan tilt and the Cinemachine input access controller, so I can actually move the camera around and look around. Then I give it the Cinemachine basic multi-channel per lane to add that handheld camera effect. You're gonna see it now. You see we have that. You see we have that movement, and there is a very simple way to set up your virtual camera. So one thing you guys have to fix is this VCam shouldn't be a child of this first person controller, but it has to be exactly at the same spot as the camera, but it shouldn't be at the same spot as a child of it, because it's gonna ruin the movement. So as you see, it is okay now. You see we are moving, and the problem is I'm holding W, and when I look back it is still moving this way, and it doesn't look at the camera's point of view to move where it wants. And a fix for it is actually pretty easy. You gotta select your FPS controller with the standard assets. You're gonna double click on the first person controller to open this. You see, this is the script for this project, and this is the script for my upcoming game project. And you see I added this. So we go down here. I'm gonna call this one added, so you guys know this part is being added. We need a public camera. I'm gonna call it used cam. And the reason for it is because I want to tell this script that I want to use this camera's look at position as the forward position of my player. So I'm gonna go down here. I said added again. We can just copy this, go to fixed update inside our new script. You see I commented this section out. So I add this added here, then I comment this section out, Control C, so we don't have it. We have this use cam. We cannot find this use cam here. We just give it the used cam. Now in the script, you see, we just commented this section out and we have added this. And we also give a used cam up here. So we can tell our script that this camera is our look at camera, and when we are moving forward, we have to move that camera. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select our FPS controller. You see now it needs a used cam. We just give it this first person character controller. Now we can go ahead and see that if I look this way, I'm holding W and the movement has become okay. Now we have set up the camera and the V-cam. What we want to do is we want to go inside the closet, and when we go inside the closet, we want to be able to look from inside to outside. So how do we do that? Let's place a camera inside here. As I said, we don't need to make a new camera. We just have to make a virtual camera. So I'm just going to create a 3D cube. So I know its placement. I'm gonna deactivate the doors for now so I don't see it. I see it from the inside. I'm gonna move my cube this way. I'm gonna make it super small because we don't need the cube. We just want to see where the camera is gonna be. So I'm gonna put it like here, just facing this way. So this cube is gonna be our closet V-cam, and we don't need this box collider or the mesh renderer, but I'm gonna keep it so we know this is actually here. So what do we add it? We just give it the V-cam controller. So we have it here. How do we make it a visual camera? It is actually like what we did before. We just give it the Cinemachine camera first. Brain didn't go to that camera because its priority is actually lower this V-cams. This is lower than that. So how do we make the brain go to this V-cam? We just make this priority 2. We make this one 2, and now we're there. So how do we want to rotate it? We have to rotate this whole object. We have to rotate this cube this way, 180 degrees, and we have to make this field of view 60 so it looks a little bit back. I want to move the camera a little bit back, like here would be okay, and I want to make this field of view 80 or 75 or maybe 70 is okay. I want to move it this way a little so it is inside it. I want to move a little bit up. This is okay, and now we have this camera here, and I'm gonna make this closet V-cam a child of this closet, so it is inside the closet. We want to be able to move this V-cam inside, so we have to give it the pan tilt and the input access controller. You see it has add input controller. You just click it and it adds the input access controller. You cannot move it around anymore. You have to move it like this, make it -90 so it looks this way. So now we have set up the 2 virtual cameras that we need. We can just deactivate this one so it goes back to the player's head. So what do we want to do? We want to go inside it, and when we go inside it, we want to make this one transparent. One way of doing it is actually making this one 2 objects, so door 1 and door 1 transparent. So we're gonna duplicate this one. So right click on the door, duplicate. I'm gonna name this one door underline T for transparent, and I'm gonna deactivate the actual door and keep the transparent door and give it this material, and this one and this one. So now we have this door transparent and door number 1, the actual one. I'm gonna do the same for door number 2 as well. I'm going to door number 2 underline T, deactivate the actual one, give it this transparent material, then deactivate it and keep the actual door. So now if we wanna, when we go inside, we'll make this door disappear and this door appear. Same goes with the door number 2. So now we just deactivate these two and activate these two. So we have set up the base for making the codes. What do we want to do now? We want to actually make the code. First, let's create a folder called scripts. Inside it, I'm going to create a mono behavior script. I'm going to call it Fears to Fathom hiding system. I'm going to open it up. Before doing anything, we have to make an interaction system so we can interact with this. And when we interact with this one, we can go inside it. So again, we're going to create a new script. I'm going to call it Fears to Fathom hiding system underline interact. Again, I'm going to open it. This interaction code actually goes to our player's camera. What we have here is actually an interaction script. I'm going to create it right now. It is very simple. I have made a lot of videos on how to make an interaction system. You can search inside the channel to find them. We don't need voice start. So it's about update. First, we're going to create a public boolean. I'm going to call it can interact. This is equal to true at the start because we can interact with everything. Then we're gonna go into void object. We're gonna check if we have pressed the left mouse key, for example, if input that get mouse button down, mouse button 0. So this input that get mouse button down 0 is actually the left mouse if we have pressed the left mouse, and it's also gonna check if can interact is equal to true. So if you press the left mouse and the can interact is equal to true, we can go ahead and do some stuff. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new ray. I'm gonna call it ray, which is equal to new ray, which is equal to transform.position to transform.forward. And we're gonna create a raycast hit. I'm gonna call it hit as well. So what are these two lines? As I explained in my can interact video, this ray is actually an invisible laser. For example, it is an invisible laser that will be shot from the position of the object with the script to forward. So if the camera is looking forward, this raycast is going to be shot forward. And what is this raycast hit? This hit is the object this ray is going to hit. We're going to put that object inside this hit. Then we're going to check if physics of raycast. So we just told if our raycast actually hit anything in a distance of, for example, 5. So anything in the distance of 5 will be checked if it is actually, interacted with. So what this line does is it's gonna check the ray that is getting shot and it's gonna check if it actually hit it. So it's gonna shoot a raycast in the direction forward and it's gonna hit an object in a distance of 5. Then we're gonna check if it actually hit anything in a distance of 5. Then we go inside this physics.raycast, check if the object we hit actually has a tag of, for example, closet. So we're gonna check if hit.collider.compare tag closet. So if the object we hit when we press the left mouse has a tag of closet, we didn't give it the tag yet, so we're just gonna select this closet. I'm gonna add a box collider. You see this box collider is actually very small, so I'm just gonna click on this edit collider. I'm gonna make it cover the whole closet like this. Then I'm gonna go to this tag section with the closet selected. Go down to the add tag. I'm gonna add a tag. I'm gonna call it closet. Be careful, the capital and the small versions of the letters matter. If you choose this one, it has to be exactly the same thing in your script. So I'm just gonna save it. Again, go to your closet because it is not set yet. So you're just gonna go to this tag and add this closet again. Now let's go back to our script. It is exactly the same name. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go inside the closet. Going inside the closet is actually very easy to do. We have just made a very simple interaction system. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go inside our Fears to Fathom hiding system and do the functions of the camera going inside here from this hiding system and not that, actual camera stuff. So what are we gonna do inside this Fears to Fathom hiding system? These are two different scripts. I'm not gonna use, the reason I'm separating them is because it's easier to understand and you don't have to do everything in one singular script. It is gonna make it harder to read. So I'm gonna go to my Fears to Fathom hiding system. I'm gonna create a public void. I'm gonna call it go inside closet. So what it does is, it takes my virtual cameras, deactivates the first one and activates the second one, and automatically it goes inside that close it. So I didn't think the video would get this long, and since this video has become a long video, I'm gonna finish the video here. I'm gonna cover the rest in the next video inside part 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like really helps. You can subscribe to see more contents like this, and don't miss part 3. You can tell me anything in the comment section below. I would be very happy to read all of them and answer all of them. I hope all the very best for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.